Okay, so we are not on Black Ops 4 today because it's taking a long time to download, and I have family coming into town, and I just don't have all the time to wait for it to download, so that's tomorrow's video. Anyway, what's up guys, it's S'mores. Welcome back to some Modern Warfare. Today we're still just kind of sniping, unlocking stuff, getting camos. You know, it was actually a pretty eventful day yesterday, from Robert Bowling to the whole censor Nadia thing to my internal fears and doubts. Starting with the stuff that most people probably already know about. Censor Nadia. Don't even watch Censor's video. Not worth it at all. He didn't expose anyone. He didn't do anything. He just cashed out. That's all he did. He just proposed. He proposed to Nadia, who is also into women. So that was pretty embarrassing. Censor is obviously a smart guy, but he still somehow embarrasses himself all the time. And I don't get it. I know he's doing it on purpose, but it's still like just a little too embarrassing for me. So yeah, that was a whole Censor Nadia situation. I mean, if you were expecting something out of it, it was a pretty big disappointment, but for pretty much anyone with logical and rational thinking, it was to be expected. Not that. I wasn't expecting a proposal on YouTube for someone you've never met, but I didn't expect any actual accusations to come out. Then in like lighter news, actual happy news, stuff that I was really excited for and stuff that kind of exceeded my expectations a little bit, was Robert Bowling. Oh! That was actually kind of nuts. But yeah, if you don't know who Robert Bowling is, he was like the creative director for Modern Warfare 2, the original Modern Warfare 2 back in 2009. I don't remember this, but it turns out he actually set up a phone account where you could call him and leave voicemails and he would like reply and stuff. Yeah, he forgot about it and never did that until now. He just remembered 13 years later and he had like 2,500 voicemails left. And he went through on stream and like listened to all these voicemails, just, I don't know, for fun, why not? They don't mean anything now, but just he had a counter for how many times one-man army was mentioned, how many times commando, capture the flag, all sorts of stuff was mentioned, and he had a bleep counter, which answers the question I had: how in his right mind was he gonna go on live stream and play a bunch of unsolicited voicemails, knowing how Modern Warfare 2 lobbies were back in the day? I smelt a ban waiting to happen within 10 seconds. I don't know if it was him or he just hired someone to do it for him, but they went through all the voicemails and bleeped out all the really bad stuff, so it was all good. It was just a lot of bleeps. Some of the voicemails were actually really wholesome, but there were a lot of bleeps. So many. It sounded reminiscent of like Xbox Live chats or Xbox Live messages, or do you remember like a bunch of YouTubers back in the day made listening to Xbox Live message videos? And that's exactly what it was like. It felt so nostalgic. It was super fun. And there were guys like Rage and Scope in the chat having a blast too. I feel like Rage and I are kind of the same person because we would type something, like I would type something and he would type the exact same thing directly after. Or he would type something and I would type the exact same thing directly after, just at the same time. It's like our COD sniper brains aren't unique. And I don't know how to feel about that, but it is what it is. It's not a bad thing. It actually felt like a compliment. I love that guy. Rage is such a nice dude. Wow, that was a quad lineup. I don't remember the capture the flag thing being that big of a deal. So what happened? They had, at one point, they had a UI thing where they had to just get rid of the capture the flag playlist for a long time. And I don't really personally remember it because I mainly played like Search and Destroy or Headquarters or stuff like that, Ground War Domination. So I don't really remember capture the flag, but a lot of people were really butthurt about it back in the day. My favorite voicemail that I heard personally was someone was complaining that they were getting hit markers with the intervention. Intervention was not strong enough, and that suppressed cold-blooded M21s were getting one-shots when he was getting hit markers, and it's not right. Suppressed M21 was really weak, so if you were getting outgunned by that when you had an intervention with stopping power, I'm sorry, it sounds like a skill issue to me. That same guy is probably shaking in his boots at the current snipers we have today. The MW2 intervention is one of the best snipers that's ever been in Call of Duty. Now, as to my internalized fears and doubts, I don't think I've mentioned it in a video, but I'm going to San Diego next week. I'm gonna be at TwitchCon. I'm gonna be in California from like the 7th to the 10th or some shit. I think so. I don't even remember at this rate. I think it's the 7th to the 10th. It's by far the most complicated trip I've ever taken because of my work schedule. With how San Diego is all scheduled out and everything, it's right in the middle of me being out of the state. So I'm flying out of an airport that's in another state back to another state and then driving back to work, and it's all it's a lot of driving. It's so much driving, so much shimmying around just to line up with the flights and stuff. So initially I thought to myself, man, it's during a work week and stuff, so maybe it's not a good idea to go. Maybe I'm forcing it. And the initial house I was staying in fell through, so I felt like, okay, I won't go, I won't force it. And I was like, you know what, I haven't traveled to California, I haven't seen all these people in actual years, literal years, so I might as well go, you know, like screw it. I have the time off. Even if it's the middle of the work week, I can still do it. I'm used to driving and doing all this stuff. I might as well go. But I've had a couple things that just keep making me feel like it might not be a great idea to go. It just, I don't know, it just feels, it's starting to feel a little bit. Oh my god, one more, give me another head. Imagine. I've developed the philosophy over time that you really should not force stuff. Like if stuff doesn't seem like it's in your future or whatever, if it doesn't kind of fall in line, don't force it, you know? And hit marker 6-ons! I'm so down bad. You know what? That 6-on just wasn't in my fate. Develop the philosophy of just like, don't force stuff, go with the flow, because going with the flow has single-handedly helped me out of a lot of really sticky situations. Dude, I swear, I'm about to hit a triple headshot on that wall. I swear to you. So this trip just feels a little bit forced because I have to shimmy all around with my work schedule and stuff just to go. It took me a while to find an Airbnb to actually stay in and all that. So it's just like a little bit like not flowy. You know what I'm saying? So that had me scared, but I was like, you know what? It'll be all fine. It'll be all good. And now I'm having fears that my plane's gonna crash. I don't know why. I've just had a gut feeling my plane's going right down. My plane's probably gonna crash in Nebraska. That would be an actual nightmare. At least we'd have a lot of corn to cushion the fall. And then those fears of my plane going down have been reinforced drastically when the other night I had a nightmare that I was in a plane crash. And I saw a TikTok yesterday. It turns out there's a statistic out there that I really did not ever need to hear, let alone on TikTok. Right before I take a cross-country flight, when they ask pilots how many of them have fallen asleep while flying, 56% have fallen asleep while flying. And of those 56% that have fallen asleep while flying, that have just admitted to falling asleep while flying, 29% have woken up to their co-pilot also being asleep. Dude, if my plane doesn't have a co-pilot for the co-pilot, I'm gonna be so upset. I'm just not gonna feel safe. I have adjusted my way of thinking for flying on planes though. I don't know, it is a nerve-wracking thing. You're putting all of your faith into some random person that you've never met and honestly in most cases have never even seen, and that is kind of scary. So I've adopted the mentality of once I'm flying, I'm okay with that being my last day. If the plane does go down, it was meant to be like that, baby. I'm a little more nervous for this flight than other flights I've been on, just for weird superstitious stuff. And also, I really don't need to be foreshadowing my death. Like all these artists and actors and stuff who have been in these certain movies and then they die this certain way. And like, I'm talking about this in a video and I need it to not actually happen. So yeah, tomorrow is definitely Black Ops 4, and I keep getting comments asking me to talk about getting swatted. So I'll talk about that tomorrow when I'm playing Black Ops 4. Thank you guys so much for watching, I appreciate it. Hope you have a great day. It's been Morse. It's been Duncan or Morse, or I don't know. I'm trying to like come up with an outro and intro type stuff. I don't know what to do. Anyway, have a great one. Later.